So today I want to talk about protecting yourself, protecting your flag, and really being on guard, right? Right. So I want to talk about what I've been watching, and then just jump right in. So as of late, I've been watching a lot of Halo videos, and I will be using Halo content. Hopefully, I'll be using I would say like capture the flag. That's really what I'm hoping to find as far as my footage. I got a lot of Halo footage, y'all. So I don't know what exactly I may find because I think I might have combined like two games or something like that. Because sometimes the games be short, but sometimes the games be long. I recently did play like damn near a whole 20-minute game of Halo, and it was just capture the flag, but I was not recording that for content and stuff like that. I was really just relaxing over these last few like weeks, just like playing games to have a good time, right? So, as of late, I recently have been, I would say, dealing with the previous woman, basically getting to the point where the situation ended and whatnot. And she made this comment to me, I would say a couple weeks ago, and it still kind of stuck with me. And she told me that I want a bitch. I kind of stopped and thought to myself, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why would you say some offhand shit like that? Like that didn't even make sense. Like the moment it came out of her mouth, I was like, cognitive dissonance. I was like, did she really just hear that stupid shit that came out of her mouth? Like, are we serious right now? And it kind of dawned on me like, oh, this woman genuinely wants me to love her for her bad behavior. She wants to treat me badly, and then she wants to sit down and try to validate the bad treatment I experience. Mainly, I'm perceiving it because she either has a lot of trauma she hasn't processed, she doesn't like me truly, or, she likes how I make her feel, but she understands that I'm not really the person for her. And something got me thinking, right? So yesterday, I saw this tweet on Twitter, right? And I'm going to read it to y'all. So a young man, I'm not going to read his handle because it's some crazy shit. He said, I took a girl back who cheated on me. I'm going to say this right now. That was the first mistake. You never take a bitch back who cheats on you. That woman is garbage. Anyway, come to find out, I caught her when she was about to, again. Is crashing out worth it? And I stated to him, one thing to remember is someone who loves you will not do this. And I made sure that I wrote this part out because I stopped and I really thought about that. I was like, it was intentional as you got to see the second time. And I told him, I hope you learned your lesson to love yourself enough to protect yourself from people who treat you this way. Key phrase here, guys. Love yourself enough to protect yourself from people who treat you this way. In the end, I gave him a little cute little message. To me, I thought it was cute personally. I said, don't drop your crown again, King. I wish you peace. Mainly, I be seeing that a lot, like the you dropped your crown, King. I thought it was funny, so I was like, I'm going to throw that in there just for the gags. But one thing I did notice was, as I was like going through the day, I was like, this tweet got a lot of likes. I'd be on Twitter, like looking through all kinds of shit, looking at video game news, all kinds of stuff. And when I saw the amount of likes, I like to go back to the group because this is like a community chat, right? And one thing I noticed in my notifications was he actually responded to me. So I was like, oh shit, let me see what he said. He said, I appreciate this. Real, genuine, and realistic words of wisdom. And what made me stop and think about this was, as of today, right, I've been sitting down. I was really looking at like Facebook. I'd be on Facebook looking through like Marketplace and whatnot. And I was seeing a lot of videos about like energy and, how people, how you show up as a person and, the things that you do as an individual, effectively conforming to your environment instead of being your authentic self. And allowing things to come to you, or you are who you are meant to be, and things are just aligning and lining up for you. And it made me stop and think about this phrase that I heard, or word that, or sentence or some shit like that I heard. But excuse me, analogy. There we go. That I heard from a video, and it was, you can be the right package at the wrong door, and what the person is going to do is they're going to open the package, damage it, and then they're going to use that damage to validate why they didn't want the package in the first place, when the package one was never meant for them. So I sit down and I point this out to say, you as an individual have to learn really to protect yourself. And the main reason, I was thinking about, Halo and stuff like that is mainly because I got a lot of games and stuff. But I was really thinking about capture the flag, right? And, the whole goal of capture the flag, it's like 3 points, right? The whole goal of capture your flag is to steal the opponent's flag, right? In this case, people are looking to steal your flag. And in some situations, people are looking to be on your team to kill you. And again, I mentioned that I don't know what kind of footage may come up here. Because when it comes to Halo Capture the Flag, right, you could be on Warthogs, you could accidentally kill your teammates. Obviously, most people are not intentionally looking to kill their teammates, but there are situations where there's so much shit happening, you may get run over. You may get knocked off the map, mainly because you're doing all kinds of crazy shit. People bump into each other, physics and whatnot. But there are going to be moments or people or individuals who are going to look to take up your space purely to harm you. And in the situation that I was expressing between me and the young lady, her goal was to harm me. She never wanted to be with me. She was never interested in me. She was never interested in pouring into me. Yet she liked how I made her feel. She liked how giving I was. She liked how caring I was. She loved how charismatic I was. But the moment she heard something negative from her friends or whatever the case may be, she decided that, I'm going to be a bitch because this is what they're telling me to default back to. And most importantly, I don't really like this person based on how she chose to interact with me. Now that I'm seeing it in the grand scheme of things, I'm looking to intentionally destroy you. I'm intentionally looking to harm you. I'm intentionally looking to steal from you, whether that be money, whether that be time, whether that be your effort. People are going to sit down and act in a way where they're going to attempt to validate their bad behavior because they want you to accept it and fall back on it. And that's effectively what I was explaining with this young man's tweet. He didn't necessarily take her back because, she was a bad person. Maybe she made a mistake. Whatever reason he used to validate taking her back, he got to see, again, as I pointed out, within the second time, hey, you got to protect yourself from motherfuckers like this. And at the end of the day, you have to ensure that you are surrounding yourself with the right people. But in reference to that happening, you have to stop and take the time to evaluate people. And I'll say this, within my experience, I had a lot of people, right? A lot of people point out to me, hey, bro, she's not a good idea. Respectfully, the young lady who's assisting me now, she pointed this shit out to me early in the beginning, but realistically, I didn't know her, right? So it's kind of hard to sit down and take advice or information from people you don't know, but I stop and I look at the relationship that I've had between me and her, and I noticed that the young lady I'm talking about who attempted to destroy me attempted to also destroy this relationship because she recognized this person is going to keep me from her end goal, which was to destroy me, just like the opposing team, right? But again, in reference to people who are attempting to be your teammates and saying, they love and they care about you, you really have to stop and evaluate their actions and how they decide to maneuver around you. And effectively, as far as like the videos that I was seeing on Facebook today, that's a lot of what was going on. Excuse me. Looking at how people are truly interacting and the fact that people are only around you because you might make them feel a certain way. People are around you because you uplift them. You make them see the full potential that they don't see in themselves. And most importantly, sometimes people are truly just around you because they lack the perception to see that for themselves. And realistically, I heard something today where it was like, you need to stop and see the worst qualities in people, and you need to sit down and ask yourself, will this person change and move on and respond based on that? And I'll be honest, if I were to have stopped and done that from the very beginning, I would have never set foot around these losers in the first place. Respectfully. When I sit down and I look at the actions that were taken, when I look at the missteps that were managed, when I think about some of the things that I've heard from these people, and I look at the lives that they live, and I look at the steps they've taken, and I look at the condition of their lives, and I look at the things that they've done for themselves, they haven't lifted themselves up in any meaningful way. They wanted one person to do for them what they were not willing to do for themselves. But then they felt they were able to talk shit when they had nothing going for themselves. And again, in reference to me talking about Halo and whatnot, it's kind of like seeing that one person talk a lot of shit, but they have no kills on the board. They just dying the whole game. By the way, I'm not talking shit, but I am dying a lot in these motherfucking videos. I'm going to be 100% honest with y'all. I mean, I don't really play Halo all the time, but I'm playing a lot more so I could like get my skills up and whatnot. But back to what I'm saying. You know, there's that one motherfucker who's really sitting there acting like they're the hottest thing on the motherfucking planet, but you getting 360 no scope left and right. You got people running up on you, just dropping you. You spawning, getting killed every spawn. If you get a kill, bro, you threw a nade when someone was shooting at, bro, and he was already on his last leg, and guess what? You got the assist, but not the kill. If you got the assist at that. So it's one of those things where you just stop and you actively look at people and how they're responding to you. How are they interacting with you? How do they make you feel? You know, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was in a space where I genuinely felt that there was a lot of contention. I was doing a lot in reference to genuinely just holding my peace until I knew that it was time to go. You know, I was sitting down, biding my time, just waiting. And I mainly got to the point where I noticed, like, I've said this multiple times. I've pointed this out multiple times. And you're not willing to change. I'm not willing to try to make you change, but I'm also not going to sit down and keep beating myself over the head for someone who is not looking to improve. Most importantly, I'm not looking to stay in a space where I'm paying the bills and I have to deal with this bullshit. We're all adults in this motherfucker. I'm not wasting my time with niggas playing games in my face. Hell no. Because my money, my time, my effort, and my peace is on the line. You got me fucked the hell up if you think I'm going to stop and stay here in a place that's not effective for me. So the main thing I really want to point out here is you guys are going to be in situations where you're going to have people who are going to claim they're your teammates. They're going to claim that they love you. They're going to claim that they want what's best for you. They're going to sit down and do the most bare of bare minimum acts and then act as if everything they piss is gold. But guess what? Everything that's glitter is not gold. Okay? That's facts. Just because you think your shit does not stink, I can tell you in 20 minutes, there are going to be flies swarming around that motherfucker. That's just facts. So realistically, you have to pay attention to what people say and do. You have to stop and really evaluate the environment. You know, ironically, I ended up getting a call yesterday, and this woman had the nerve to call me, and she's like, "Oh, you didn't say happy birthday to my best friend." I'm sitting here like, I'm unemployed, looking to get my life together. I'm only unemployed temporarily, you feel me? But I'm over here looking to get my life together, and you calling me about saying happy birthday to someone who has a whole fucking job? And then you want to sit down and tell me, "Oh, well, I'm looking to help you with what you have going on, this, that, and the third." And I'm just like, no, the fuck you're not. Because you wouldn't have called me saying some stupid shit like this instead of, "Hey, I found this job. Is this something you may be interested in?" You're going to call me about absolute bullshit. and then think that this is the way to rebuild a relationship. And that's what I'm saying. When you stop and really evaluate how some people move, they're not looking to assist you. They're looking to try to garner your attention, to distract you, to effectively pull you back into this nonsensical lifestyle that does not serve you, or this nonsensical relationship which is meant to effectively steal your time, your energy, your effort, your love, your affection, whatever it may be, because this person's intentions are not pure. So I sit down and I say this to say, hey, life may be a video game. And sometimes you may really need to stop and apply the perspective of that. Motherfuckers will literally be in this lobby trying to run you the fuck over. Since, again, I'm playing Halo and shit, right? Motherfuckers will literally run around and try to knock you off the platform because they want to see you suffer. They don't want to sit down and assist you. They don't want to sit down and love you. Most importantly, you have to sit down and, like I told this young man, you have to love yourself enough to protect yourself from people who act in this manner. No one who's really going to sit down and love you and help you is going to harm you. Or better said, this individual is not going to harm you with intention. People make mistakes. However, you trying to run me over, you trying to stab me in the back, you sitting down and trying to butter me up so you could try to get something out of me. Motherfucker, you don't love me. And in time, your ass is going to get ran over, stabbed right in your motherfucking neck and bleed out. It is what it is. In time, I believe in karma, by the way. I believe what comes around goes around, and you're going to get that shit tenfold, especially if you act nefariously. Ironically, I got another like. I was not really looking to see that, funny enough. But people are going to sit down and try to harm you. And I do believe, again, in karma. So you are going to get yours. And it's going to be 10 times worse. So I want to tell you guys, move with honesty. Move with integrity. However, I want to sit down and give you my story and let you know you have to use your discernment. You have to be willing to be open and receptive to what people are willing to tell you. Sometimes the most random thing that's going to happen is someone you don't know is going to protect you. I'll be honest. I wish that 2 years ago, I did listen to her. However, even though I did not know her or did not really listen to my now, I would say, lifelong friend, ideally, I'm in a situation where I'm uncomfortable as hell, but this person has protected me. This person has talked to me. I have sat down and I've grown with this person. I've sit down and I've watched this person work 2 jobs, now getting to the point where they're close to making 6 figures, and they're working 1 job. And they told me straight up, they're like, I'm not going back to that old shit I was doing. I don't even know how I did that, but I did. And I told them straight up, I'm proud to see how far you've come, So this is someone I've actively built a relationship with over time, sitting down, investing into each other. And those are the people that you need, people who are going to lift you up. And they're not looking to tear you down. They're not looking to take something from you. They're not looking to effectively see what they can get or what's the best thing that you could present to this individual that'll make them feel good about themselves, but they don't offer you anything as a person that truly feeds your spirit. I want to say I really appreciate you guys. I love you. I want you guys to really tell me your thoughts. I want you to tell me about a negative experience you may have had, or maybe something you may be going through that you feel you could apply from this video. I mean, I don't really ask people this a lot, but feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe. Anything helps. I really appreciate you. I love you. This is Lamb, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Carrier kill. Flag dropped.
The enemy carrier has revealed themselves.
enemy captured your flag.
That was poop. No, that one was poop.